picture, curtain lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing apart. We know every part by heart. Overture, curtain lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk about another one of our favorite subjects, Bob Chapek.
Yep.
Who is no longer
the CEO
of Disney. Thank you, Lord. Thank somebody listened to us. This came down, and this was from multiple sources. Quick. I mean, this happened quick. Apparently, Bob Chapek announced on like Monday. And I don't know exactly what the days are, but like on Monday he announced, hey, we're having a hiring freeze, and we're going to start laying people off and all this other stuff. And then like 2 or 3 days later, all of a sudden it gets announced, Bob Iger has come back as Disney CEO, and Bob Chapek has been let go. And
which wasn't really a surprise at all.
Didn't surprise.
Nobody was really a fan of Bob Chapek.
Yeah,
he was like, Michael Eisner was.
Yeah,
like very penny pincher.
Penny pincher.
Towards the end of his tenure as CEO, that's the way Bob Chapek was for the entirety of his. How long was he CEO? Like 2 years,
2.5 years. They just re-signed him to another 3 years. So we were like, when they did that,
it was a shock. It's like Bob Chapek, like, it made not a lot of sense.
I mean, we sat there dumbfounded, and then we started finding out exactly what was going on. And it seemed like Bob Chapek was doing some funny things with the books. Apparently, he had said that Disney Plus was going to be profitable by 2024, which many analysts said that's an impossibility. Not even Netflix has made quite a profit yet. So they're like, or it took a long time for Netflix to make a profit. So they were like, we don't understand how you can make this claim. Then it came out that 2 Disney Plus shows that he had put on the platform, he had put on the books for Disney Channel, which was like kind of a funny way.
The show was trying to make Disney Channel look like it was performing better than it.
Or he was trying to take the expenses out of Disney Plus so that it made it look better. And this is from multiple sources. This is not like we heard it off one crazy website. This was like, and we heard it from several like news sources. We were sitting there. There was one source that said that Bob Chapek was not happy when he came in because he immediately wanted to start firing people.
Well, I think he came in during the pandemic, right? In 2020?
I think he came in right in the beginning of the pandemic. And Iger was still around to help out. I think Iger was like chairman of the board or something. I'm trying to remember. And Chapek wanted, when the pandemic started, he wanted to start laying people off. And Iger's like, no, we're getting the PPE. Let's just hang in there. We don't need to let people go yet. Blah blah blah. And Chapek wasn't happy that Disney was listening to Iger rather than him. And then, of course, it was one crazy decision after another. Basically, how could I best say it? It was like, Pixar couldn't get a film into the theaters. They tried.
Oh yeah, because I remember what was happening with Pixar is like they would have like advertisements saying it was going to be released in theaters, but then it was like, no, it's just going straight to Disney Plus. Like I think I remember when we went and saw Raya and the Last Dragon, I think didn't they have a sign up for Turning Red?
They had, I think they did.
Or something like that. And then Turning Red was just straight on Disney Plus, no theatrical release.
And I think that was, I don't know if it was like, that was a weird move or whatever, but it was almost like they were trying to make Disney Plus bigger than what it is. Don't get me wrong, Disney Plus is a very good streaming service. You get to see some of the most iconic cartoons and shorts that they don't put out anymore. Some of the originals like Lambert, the Sheepish Lion. Lambert. the band concert, and also the great classic, the Wise Little Hen, which is Donald Duck's
Debut.
Just an amazing array of short cartoons. They're classics. And then you see some of but we were wondering, because we were wondering if they were ever going to be putting out any Disney original stuff on Disney Plus, because it seemed like the only stuff they were putting out was either Star Wars,
Star Wars
or Marvel. And don't get us wrong, we love Star Wars, we love Marvel, but after a while, you
get a little fatigued.
You become fatigued. Excuse me.
It's like every week, it's like 10 different Marvel shows are announced.
Yeah, so
it was getting kind of ridiculous.
On top of that, he had problems with the parks continuing to raise ticket prices.
Yeah, it was like every few weeks, it was like ticket prices increased by such and such amount.
It was getting ridiculous. And we've even said that on our past podcasts that it was getting to be expensive to the point where it was almost too expensive for the average family to go to Disneyland or Disney World. And then people were complaining that it's kind of lost its magic. That the upkeep has been really bad. We're seeing spider webs all over the signs and overgrowth and all this other. It was like he wasn't like really taking care of the parks. He wasn't. Disney Plus wasn't performing like it should. And then on top of that, he had controversies with the Florida government.
With when Florida repealed the Reedy Creek Improvement Act.
And then the movies they were putting out were underperforming, with Lightyear being one lightning rod that was there. And now there's another.
Now they got Strange World, which is absolutely bombed. Set to lose $100 million.
Yeah, it's so. While it was a shock, it wasn't a shock. It was like we were just waiting for the timer to finally just go click and run out on Bob Chapek. We didn't realize it was going to happen when it did, but now Bob Iger is back. He says he's going to be back for 2 years. He has already found someone who he's going to, I think, replace him.
Have they said who he's looking at?
Christine.
Is that Christine McCarthy?
Yes.
Seriously?
The CFO. Yeah. Yeah, that's who they're looking at. That was the announcement I saw.
I'm sorry. If there's anybody more soulless than Bob Chapek, it's Christine McCarthy. I thought they were going to go for somebody like Josh Tomorrow. I mean, he's already been. How long has he been? He's the chief of the parks, right?
Yeah.
How long has he been doing that? A long time.
A while.
So it's like when you're looking for somebody to be your new CEO, Josh Tomorrow is like a perfect pick. But no, you're going to go all out of left field.
Well, I think they're
Christine McCarthy.
I think they're looking for someone to take over not just the parks, but also the film side of it, the streaming side of it. They need someone who's going to be able to keep a real eye on it. And Iger has said that he's training whoever it is. He's training them for the next 2 years. So, and Bob Iger's not an idiot. I know that he's probably. I heard one of the things I heard is the rumors he's been reaching out to the Florida government to try to get Reedy Creek back.
Oh. Try to restore amends. And trust me, these are people that they don't agree on much, but they're going to figure out how to make this work, because Disney needs the Reedy Creek Improvement Act if they're going to finish up a lot of the stuff that they have going on already as far as construction, because they're continuing to really try to finish stuff up that they've got going on now. He has. He's looking at ticket prices. He hasn't really there. I thought he was going to bring down ticket prices. I think he's pretty much has decided to keep them the same, or in some cases raise them, because there are certain times of the year where it's just more popular to come to a Disney park, and that's called capitalism. Yeah. But I think he's also decided that he's going to try to keep them in a spot where they're affordable.
which I think is a good thing. They haven't really said a whole lot as far as Genie Plus, but I hear that they're going to try to revamp that.
How so? Like they're gonna get rid of the single
Well, let me ask you this:
lightning lane.
I think what they're going to do is, this is what I think they're going to do. What I think they're going to do with Genie Plus is, I think they're going to revamp it, and I think they're going to include all lightning lanes.
Okay, so they're not going to have the individual purchases like
No.
Rise of the Resistance.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're going to have all lightning lanes available through Genie Plus. That's my prediction. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't know. I also don't believe that, and then again, this is me personally, I don't believe they're going to retheme Splash Mountain.
Yeah, I know there was a big announcement like last week or something that Splash Mountain's closing starting, I think it was sometime January next year.
23rd, yeah.
And everybody automatically hopped onto this one. They're closing it permanently for the retheme, but it's like they close it down
Every January
for refurbishment. Because Splash Mountain is because perpetually in disrepair.
It's one of those. It's one of those rides where they continually have to go in and fix the animatronics.
Well,
and so
this, that, and the other thing. There's always something wrong.
And I think this past year they had some issues with the boats. They had like one boat that sank.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that.
So I think they're in the process of. And again, you're right. Everybody jumped on. They're going to retheme it. They're going to retheme. This is when they're going to do it. I don't think so. I think this is a yearly refurbishment. They're going to bring it back. Iger, I think, knows this ride is really popular, and
I think it's like, say, marketing gimmick.
Yes.
Something where it's like we're gonna close it, and because of course it's coinciding with the talks of the retheme, everybody's gonna be like, oh, this one is closing permanently. I gotta head to Disneyland right now and ride it one last time before it permanently closes.
Before it permanently closes, yeah. I mean, because that's what they did with Tower of Terror over at DCA. They said, "Here's where this is the last day you can ride it," and well, I know a lot of people have said, "Well, they rethemed Tower of Terror into to Mission Breakout," and I said that's totally different because they were already in the process of taking Bugs Land and turning it into Avengers Campus, and you and I have been there. There are two entrances into Avengers Campus, and the one entrance is right by Mission Breakout. So it would seem absolutely proper that you would have that ride at that spot going into Avengers Campus. And so and at first we were kind of like, I don't know, I'm not sure about this. Oh, this is a bad decision, but it's like, they still have the Tower of Terror at
Hollywood
Studios in Florida. So it's not like they totally got rid of the whole ride. It's just
not with their plan. They're saying they're going to get rid of Splash Mountain everywhere except for Tokyo.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, they only have 3 of them.
Yeah, they got Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, and Tokyo. Disney.
Which, interestingly enough, the people in Tokyo, they ride the ride and they love it. They're like, oh, this is so fun. This is so fun. They don't have any idea, what it's all about. But I don't think that they're going to, if they're going to retheme it, they're not going to do it when they say they're going to do it. I mean, people tend, like you said, it has a yearly refurbishment every January when it's cold and no one wants to get on a water ride, except for me, because I love to ride Splash Mountain. No, I mean, not only that, I don't believe it, mostly because all we've seen is concept art. We haven't seen any animatronics. We haven't seen anything that, we haven't seen anything beyond.
And we haven't seen a timetable.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything.
It's like, so they announced when it's supposedly going to close forever, but it's like, well, do they have a timeline for when they're going to be actually building the new ride? No, they don't. All it is here's more concept art for what are they calling it? Tiana's Bayou Adventure?
Yeah. And here's the thing. I'm not against Tiana having a ride. I've said this over and over again. I think, though, in Disneyland, it would be more proper if they turned the French Market restaurant
into the Tiana's Palace?
Tiana's Palace. And then have her do like a meet and greet around all the different tables.
Have another character dining.
Yeah, and I think that would probably be the best idea. Do I think they're going to do that? I have the foggiest idea.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's that smart there.
No.
But that's my idea because, I mean, that was the whole premise, one of the big premises of The Princess and the Frog, which was she's going to have her own restaurant and sell her own beignets. And trust me, if you have not had a beignet at the French Market, I would suggest you go have one.
Yeah.
Because they're really good. So, so that's my idea. So I think Iger, now who's back in charge, he's there basically just to properly train the person that's going to take over.
Going to take over him after his 2 years.
And I mean, if it's where was it, Christine McCarthy, you know, we can cross our fingers. If it's Josh tomorrow, we cross our fingers. We just got to hope that it's somebody that can right the Disney ship because right now we're looking at it and we're like.
We're looking at a Titanic.
Yeah,
we
kind of
don't
like.
want a Titanic.
It's like it hasn't quite hit the iceberg yet, but at very least they changed captains.
Yeah.
And people are excited that Iger is back. We're hoping and seeing what they're going to do, but
We'll just have to wait and see what
we'll
happens.
just see what happens.
Because we can't tell the future.
All right.
Overture, cut the lights. This is it, the night of nights. No more rehearsing and nursing a part. We know every card by heart. Overture, cut the lights. This is it, we'll hit the heights. And oh, what heights we'll hit. On with the show, this is it.